All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Potential Project, where we explore what it takes to unlock your full potential in every area of life. So, if you are viewing this and you can see me, or even you might be able to hear it, I'm currently walking on a walking pad up in my office. I wanted to try something new today because a lot of these topics and ideas come and they're sparked when I'm on a walk outside. So I was seeing what it would be like to do the episode while I'm walking indoors, right? Stimulate brain function, keep me focused on the task at hand. And I feel like my brain flows a little bit better when I'm in movement. So therefore, we're going to try this episode on the walking pad. If the audio turns out to be crappy, I will make adjustments and do it not on the walking pad, just sitting in a chair. But thank you again for joining us for another week of just trying to get better, right? In all ways, shapes, or forms. And this week, it's going to be a shorter episode. I know last week we had on Ovi, which was great. Hope you guys got to listen to that. But this week, I was on a walk and I was feeling pretty good, right? Not only was the sun shining, I was getting some movement, and it was just a good day. But overall, I was just feeling good about myself, and I was kind of analyzing that. And if you guys haven't gotten the idea yet, I do a lot of analyzing, and I tell you guys to do it as well, whether you journal or whether you sit there and think about your thoughts and really what they mean. I was doing that, right? And I was like, why am I feeling so good? Because I want to replicate this. Well, long story short is I have been doing a continuing education program that's allowing me to learn much more about health, nutrition, specificity of detail on clients, learn a lot more about the metabolism, the body, how it works, how it operates, because I've been trying to, better help clients, right? Um, and the reason for this story is to say that my confidence and my self esteem and my value has intrinsically gone up. Like I feel as though I'm gaining value as a human being, as a coach, as someone in the health and fitness space. And that has in turn led me to feel good, which is why I wanted to talk about it on this week's episode because our goal in life as humans is to feel good, right? We go on vacation to relax, to feel good. We want to buy a nice car if you're into cars because we think it'll make us feel good, right? A lot of things that we do to the sub level to just make us feel good. And if having confidence makes us feel good, well, then we want to know how to do that at a high level. And so throughout the years, I've been, a personal trainer, a coach in many different forms. I own a business, right? I own a fitness studio. I have clients. We have a team of employees, and you go through your ups and downs of your emotions. Am I doing good? Am I not? What should I charge? Is this too much? Is this too little? And you talk to people, and they always say, charge your worth. Well, it's pretty hard to charge your worth if you don't feel like you have a high level of worth. And I mean, if you're like me, I feel like a lot of people don't think very highly of themselves in one way, shape, or form. You might look at yourself in the mirror and think, you're not really the person you say you are, or are you really that good, or whatever. We beat ourselves up emotionally and mentally, right? So people always tell you, charge what you're worth. You need to charge more than that for whatever it is, your product, your service. And you see it on Instagram and across the interwebs that there are people out there charging astronomical amounts for the same thing that you're doing. Like, let's say you made a shirt and you want to sell it for $20. Well, there's someone out there who also made a shirt and they're selling it for $400. If you don't believe me, you can go into multiple stores and they're selling shirts for that much money. But what makes that shirt worth $400 and the one that you're selling only worth $20? Well, typically not much. I mean, if it's if it's a physical item like clothing, there might be higher, quality material and things like that. But it's the value that we place upon it, right? Another good analogy is homes, right? You hear the story about your grandmother bought her house for $20,000 and now, she passed away and the house is worth $500,000. Well, what made that house go from $20,000 to being worth 50,000 or $500,000? And the answer again is nothing, right? It's our perceived value, right? So the reason why I'm talking about this and the reason why I've been feeling good and the reason why I want to bring this attention to you is how do we then increase our value, right? And directly by doing that, you're going to boost your self-esteem, you're going to boost your self-worth and your confidence all in one. So this is kind of broad because everyone who's listening to this does a different thing. Like you might be in marketing, you might be in sales, you might be a nurse, you might be a chiropractor. Like there's an endless amount of professions out there. It doesn't matter what you do, but it's analyzing with that, how valuable are you? Right. So for me, we sell memberships for people to come work out in the fitness studio, one-on-one training, some accountability coaching. And those numbers that we create are really, some of them are based off of what the general population of fitness studio classes cost. But let's say it was like a consultation with me or accountability coaching. That number is not set in stone in a rule book somewhere where you need to charge a certain amount. So we come up with that number and we need to base it off of how much value we're giving to the client. So for me, in my scenario, what I was doing is I'm then learning a much higher level of knowledge in fitness and in health and in metabolism and in how your body works and hormones and how to assess that. So that is making me feel much more valuable and being able to just be confident in the words that I speak and the guidance that I'm giving to clients, right? So for you, you might want to think about what are ways in which I can become more valuable. Is it learning a new skill, upgrading the level at which you're at? Like whatever profession you do, what does the next level look like for you, right? Is there a seminar you could go to? Is there a course that you could take? Is there something that you can do to get better at what you're doing? And I'm specifically saying that it's the skills that you need to acquire and the knowledge that you need to acquire because that directly correlates with what you're doing to earn the money, right? If you're a nurse and you're just, an RN and you just got out of school, that's great. Well, how can you get another level of education, maybe to become specialized or become the only person who can use that certain equipment? That'll give you some more value. You'll get paid more for that. You'll get sought out more for that. And you'll get so good at it that you just become so confident at knowing your specialty. Like a good example is like Dr. Oz, right? Like he might not be more talented than the doctor at your local hospital, but because he's gotten specialized and he's grown his personal brand, he has more perceived value than, say, the person at your local hospital. Again, he might not be smarter, more intelligent, or better at his job, but because he's done that, he's created more value for himself. So that one thing is getting better at your skill, so like getting more specialized in the area. The other thing is building your personal brand and growing your audience so that people, they like you, so they want to do business with you and they want to be a part of what you're doing. Another example of this is The Rock, right? The Rock makes movies, he makes products, and they might not be the best. I'll be honest, his movies are not great. He's not a phenomenal actor. The plots aren't all that special. But I pretty much see all the movies that he's in because I like The Rock. And you might like him too. So you're seeing his movies even though he's not that great. So what I'm saying is when it comes to building value, there's the skills, there's the knowledge, there's the personal brand. You're building value by being known and well known by people. They like you, they like what you stand for, they like your mission. So that's building your value as well. And the reason why I'm talking about these three things and not just your typical personal development is because it takes more than that, right? Like when I first found out about bettering yourself and personal development, I would, watch what I'm eating. You hear the basics, right? Eat clean, you want to exercise, you want to learn, you want to read books, right? You should do all of those things. I'm not saying that. But when it comes down to having a fit body, you can look in the mirror and think you look great, but if you feel like you're inadequate in your head, maybe with the skills and the knowledge that you have, that body is only going to get you so far, right? Like for me, if I'm fit, but I know nothing about the body, like let's say I'm a trainer and I know nothing about exercise, nutrition, how the body works, what type of workouts to do for a client, and I look great, I'm not going to feel appropriate charging a high number for personal training sessions. Whereas yes, you should still take care of your health. But whereas if I were very knowledgeable on how the body works, programming, and doing all of those things, well, then I'm going to be able to say confidently, I can get you the result. I feel like I'm more valuable. I can charge a higher amount. So I didn't mean to go off on a tangent and make you think that this is about making more money or specifically that. But when it comes down to having the value, having the confidence in yourself, and offering a product or a service, what it directly correlates to is how valuable are you? So we went over a couple things that you can do today and in general to create more value, but I would highly urge looking at what you do, right? Break it down. What category are you in? What specifically do you sell? What do you promote? What is your job title? And how can you be the best at that, right? Literally not the best on the block, the best in the company, the best in the industry, the best in the world. That is the striving force that you need to have backing you when you're taking these steps forward. So if you are an accountant, right, is there a certain software that top level accountants use and you need to go take a course and learn how to use that so that you can put that on your resume, you can feel confident, and you can get your clients better results, right? You can apply this to any single category, any single field. I'm not going to sit here and list off examples for all of them, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like you're a chef. So you spent time, you went over to France or Italy, you got taught by the best chefs in the world, you spent money, you spent time, and now you're equipped and you have so much more value that you come back here and your restaurant is going to be top notch because you spent time on your value. It wasn't just personal development. It was personal development. That's like baseline. Like, yes, be healthy. Yes, have positive affirmations. But when you're putting the rubber to the road and actually building your skills in the avenue, there is undeniable proof that you are who you say you are and the value is there. So the message for today is that, yes, I love personal development and you should too. You should always better those things. But let's take some time, journal, think about it. What do you do for a living? If you love it and you want to stay in that field, how can we become the best in our company, the best in the region, or the best in the world at it, right? What is the next step up that we can take? And I promise you, by taking that avenue and pursuing it, you're going to build so much confidence and have so much congruency with what you're doing that it's just going to lead you to feel good and go off on a good path. So I hope you guys can take this and apply it, right? Apply it, journal, start taking some action this week and message me. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to get you guys feedback on these episodes. And if you're liking what you're hearing, if you're learning anything, please share this with a friend, text it to them, share it on social media, or just send them my way. I'm always here. Half of you guys have my cell phone number anyway. So I just want to be here to help. And please share the episode, and I will see you guys next week.